Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and welcome to another Jumputi Heroes news video. If you enjoy these videos, please do leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do that as well. Today we're talking about the upcoming event, which should be the 21 million downloads event, and was actually introduced as like the flashiest event or something along those lines. But we now have confirmation that the title of the event is The Descent of the Gods, which, well, it's a flashy title for sure, and we now know, I assume, all the characters that will be included, because it's already a decent number of characters. But I'm still a bit confused on the flashiness aspect of things, the Descent of the Gods aspect of things. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, but let's bring up the intro to the event, and I've got a translation on my other screen. It says, the Descent of the Gods, work alongside your friends to challenge and seize victory. Enel has suddenly descended to Jumputi Island in search of Verth, which is, if you know One Piece, if you've read Skypiea, you'll know what that's about. Join forces with the new heroes to win. And it's kind of like, okay, I see, alright. Now, to be clear, this does not appear to be a new version of Enel. It seems to be the existing Enel. Possibly he will be like a Unity battle, maybe? Or maybe he'll be just like a mascot character for the event. I mean, we've had stuff like that before, characters, like, I remember one event where Frieza played a big role but was never actually a playable character, but he showed up in like all the banners and everything. So, what's going on with this event exactly? I don't know. To start off with, let's talk about the thing that, I mean, we've known this for so long. When they introduced it as the flashiest, the most flamboyant event, we knew that this man was going to be there. Uzui Tengen from Kimetsu no Yaiba. And I must say, while the sprite is lovely, it's not too different from the one we already have. Obviously, it's a bit more like, his hair's kind of sticking down a little bit, and you know, the bandages at the back, they're kind of flapping about in the air a bit. They can't really show characters taking battle damage. It will affect the rating of the game on Google Play and on the App Store, and so stuff like Gohan losing an arm in, you know, future Gohan, that's not represented in the game. He does have both arms, I believe. And a lot of stuff like that, it's very rare that they'll show anything like gore or whatever. But the main thing I have noticed is they're not afraid to show like a bit of blood if that's related to the character's skills or something like that. But it kind of has to be part of the ultimate attack. It has to be something that comes out when they use their special attack and is not in like the base form. It's not going to be something that is explicitly shown on the banner. For example, with Hyoga, that is a character where they sort of half censored it because he does like lose an eye basically in that arc, and it just kind of looks like he's closing his eye. It kind of looks like he's closing his eye compared to like Rokudo Mukuro. When he uses his special, like, there's like actual like blood pouring down his face, but it's only in his special, not in his standing animation. So that's kind of what's, I guess, the choice that's being made here. So we have the god of flashiness, Tengen Uzui from Kimetsu no Yaiba. You know I want him. You know I've got no rubies. This is going to be interesting. I don't know how I'm going to get him. This does appear to be a big event, coming off the back of like a very busy period in the Jumputi calendar. And we know there's other big events coming up, including the anniversary. So I'm hoping they're going to be a little bit generous with the rubies. They've been quite generous with other rewards, not specifically rubies, but other stuff within the last, I don't know, couple of weeks, I would say. But rubies potentially on the table, I don't know. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. They've recently brought back one of the best sale packs, which is the one where it's like you get a jewel fragment and a set amount of rubies every day. and it basically works out to the equivalent of 3,000 rubies and 3 jewels for like $30, which is incredible. But I don't know. I need more. I need more. And the part we weren't sure about was who he would counter. Because when they finally did release his special animation and we saw what his attack looked like, yes, he was fighting against Gyutaro, which makes absolute sense. If you're up to date on the anime, if you've been reading the manga, no-brainer. But it did appear that the sprite they showed was an enemy-only sprite. And the only way we can really tell that is it doesn't properly react when it gets attacked by the player. And, you know, if you look back at old ultimate attack animations, you can see the difference. Even if you look back to Ageha, when he uses a special attack, you can see he's using it against Matsuri. She reacts to being attacked. She, like, has her damage image. She's taking damage. But that's not the case here. So we were like, oh, maybe Gyutaro, maybe not. And sure enough, it is not. We have a version 3 Zenitsu, titled as Zenko, and it is Zenitsu from this particular arc, dressed up as a what was it? Oiran? Is it Oiran? I can't remember what it's called, but regardless, from that arc, from the Red Light District arc, and I'm not going to say I expected it necessarily, because I really did think Gyutaro would finally make an appearance after how sick it looked in the anime, the fight between him and Uzui. But thing is, I did think for a long time that we will get a free-to-play Zenitsu. At some point, we will get a free-to-play Zenitsu. That's what was going on in my head. And at some point, we'll get a free-to-play Nezuko as well. Just because Kimetsu no Yaiba is just so popular. And we've already got a free-to-play Tanjiro. We've already got a free-to-play Inosuke. You got to remember, like, they are so confident in Kimetsu no Yaiba that they have made the first free 6-star, or the first free 5-star that you get guaranteed, that every player gets guaranteed. Because, like, you do get a 5-star you can choose, but it's from a set list. But the only one that everybody gets straight away is Inosuke. And then, like, the second legend summon you get, I'm pretty sure, is from Kimetsu no Yaiba as well. And Tanjiro is one of the lowest classes of stages, so you can get him easily. And there's loads of free-to-play Kimetsu no Yaiba units, and now we're going to have Zenitsu as well. This is going to be a bit of a harder stage, but, you know, it's, in a way, it's to be expected. I'm a little bit disappointed, because I feel like Gyutaro's been in the files for a long time. I thought we'd see him. It'd be kind of cool way to cap off that arc, but it looks like they're not doing that. I don't know if that means that we're going to see more stuff from this arc later. I'd say that's entirely possible, though we are sort of running out on relevant stuff from this arc. Unless they're going to redo Nezuko and make her a limited, even though the one we've got was already from this arc, or like we could get a new Tanjiro from this arc, I guess. Like, it's tricky, but I suppose they could do it. But interesting, I would say. It's an interesting choice. I know a lot of people still don't like Zenitsu. Look, it is what it is. He's very, very, very popular in Japan. So popular, he eclipsed everyone else in the popularity polls for like the end of Kimetsu no Yaiba. So popular that he actually got a whole load of votes in the Promised Neverland popularity poll. That's how popular he was. He was invading other series. So making a free-to-play one, yeah, that just does make sense. I kind of wish it wasn't in this event, but there you go. So to start things off for our Flashy Fests, as we were working with before, but we now know it's called the Descent of the Gods. Uzui is the god of flashiness. That's the title they've given him. So sure, I guess that works, and I guess we can move on. I do want to summon for him, but you will see whether or not I actually am able to, if a video goes up or not. If a video doesn't go up, then you know I have failed. And our next limited is, of course, Sabo. Version 2 Sabo, Dragon Claw of the Rebellion. And this is peculiar. This is peculiar. The quote they teased him with was a quote from Dressrosa. It is when Luffy has just like fallen out of his Gear 4 form and he's being carried by that announcer from the stadium. And he's like, just give me a little bit of time and I'll get back to Gear 4 and I'll be up Dofi. Trust me. But then like Burgess comes along to kill him and Sabo intervenes. That's where that quote's from. So they were basically saying Sabo's coming. Okay. Then they released this image of Sabo, which is from a completely different point in the series. And it's a little bit confusing. So this costume, if you don't recognize it, is from the Reverie, which is like much later. It's a few arcs later. It's like an arc within an arc, but it is from much later. And Sabo is there. I don't know, is this spoilers? The anime's at Wano at this point, so it's not spoilers. Sabo is there alongside the rest of the Revolutionary Army to try and free Bartholomew Kuma, who has been like taken by the Celestial Dragons. And for reasons that we're not exactly clear on, he's kind of working as their like eternal slave. And he has been the basis for countless experiments. So they want to free him, and that's basically it. Like, there's not much story there because we like the second half of the Reverie is just cut off at that point, and we don't know what happens until probably much later. But when I saw this Sabo in his costume from the Reverie, I was like, okay, cool. So maybe this would be an opportunity to have Bartholomew Kuma. Maybe this would be an opportunity to have like a Reverie story event, which would, you know, we've got Rebecca, we've got Vivi, we've got Shirahoshi, we've got a couple of the... Have we got any of the characters that turn up at the Reverie as like enemy only? I can't remember. I don't think Don Chinjao turns up, so... well, anyway, we also have Lucci, who shows up, and then obviously Sabo, and Ivankov, although Ivankov doesn't actually show up, but like could have been at the early part of the story. Yeah, there's room there. You can make that work. But doesn't look like they're doing that. Or maybe they are doing that. But the character that will drop is in fact Koala. And I am okay with this. People who know me know I am a big fan. And she is going to be free to play. So I will be able to get her to Limit Break 30. She's probably going to have an aura costume, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if she's going to be any good, but you know what? Sometimes it just doesn't matter. You just like a character and you're like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's limit break him. So I'm happy she's here. Don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this event. Logically, I can see what they're saying. Like, if we're talking about the descent of the gods... The gods in terms of One Piece, and I mean, you know, they've already showed us Enel, who considers himself a god, but I mean, is he really? No. But there's also the sort of caste system in One Piece, and there is sort of that, like, the Tenryubito, which are just like the gods that rule over the peasants. And, yeah, I guess... that makes sense because he's part of the rebellion and he's fighting against the Tenryubito. Why can't I remember what they're called in English? But he's fighting against them. So it makes sense. Sure, I guess. I should warn you, as we go down, I'm not going to... like, I don't know. Like, there's not going to be any more... there's not going to be any more idea for me with these other characters about the gods or whatever. Like, maybe loose ties, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm interested to see a new Sabo. I had theorized that possibly there was like a triple unit Ace Luffy Sabo coming at some point, based on that silhouette from the Taiwan server. Could still happen. I don't really know. But I can't justify summoning for him, which is a shame because that's the exact same thing that happened with the last Sabo. But the old Sabo... This is the thing. Sabo's a really cool character. it's a bit weird getting a version 2 of him, especially an event like this, like having 2 super popular series both getting limiteds at the same time. And it's just like Sabo's like not a particularly inspiring version 2, although I'm sure his animations will look a lot better. Issue I'm having, I think it's just that they released version 1 too early and then he's just turned bad. And it's like they could have just saved him till later and then released him now and he could have been good. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think I'm going to sub with him. And I have a feeling it doesn't really matter what they put in this event. I think Tengen is just going to carry this event. So they could have just put anything. So the fact that they're putting stuff from bigger series is actually quite a surprise to me. Because they just didn't have to. They could have put anything. Tengen is going to carry the sales for this event. But anyway, moving on to what I assume is the standard gacha. I'm going to put which character I think is standard gacha on the left and what character I think is event on the right, though we don't actually have any confirmation, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just assuming. Starting off with Magna from Black Clover. This well, I had said quite a while ago, you know what would be really good if they padded out the roster of the Black Balls and didn't keep constantly releasing Black Clover content that had nothing to do with like what I consider to be the more popular characters, you know. Like, sure, I know like Fugoleon and Silver coming alongside Astra and Yuno was like a cool thing in the last event, but you've got to pad out the Black Balls. You know how many of them there are and you're not releasing them. It's just crazy. So they're doing that now. They are doing that. We have Magna Swing from Black Clover, who will be coming alongside Vanessa Enoteka. 2 very nice sprites. 2 members of the Black Balls being added to the roster, which I think I am happy about. I cannot justify spending on a standard gacha in this event. If they happen to release a ticket for this event where you get one of the standard gacha guaranteed, you know, the cheaper ticket, okay, maybe I'll buy it. But I don't know. I can't spend any rubies. I can't do it, and that's a shame because the standard gacha seemingly shaping up to look pretty cool. So I assume Vanessa will be like a transcendent event. As for Magna, I'm assuming standard gacha. And yeah, I don't have much else to say. I'm quite happy with these additions. And really, I would say in terms of this event, I am happy with all of the characters that have been added. But I do question in some cases the timing, because it just feels weird. Like you have like 100% certain thing with Tengen. I feel like that is a slam dunk. Like you don't have to try that hard. Like you could just put other stuff from anywhere, like any other series, and it would still do well just because it is in the presence. I know that sounds stupid. You don't understand what Kimetsu no Yaiba does to this game. Like we've got a campaign on right now, which is for the release of Tengen. And this campaign, normally with these release campaigns, it's like hit a certain milestone and you get like 200 rubies or something, or you'll get 5 event tickets or whatever. And 20 lucky people get the character, they get the limited. In the case of Tengen, what they have done is 20 lucky people will get him. Cool. And for every 1,000 retweets, we will receive a special Descent of the Gods multi-ticket. Now, we have no idea what's on this. It could just be a regular multi-ticket. Maybe it has a chance at certain special characters, chance at limited, who knows. But it's for every 1,000 retweets that we get one of these tickets. And we are currently at, I believe, 30,000 retweets. So at 30,000, we have 33 multis, which is, well, it's nice. It's certainly nice. I don't know what these tickets are going to be. And even if they do have something good in them, I assume the rates will be absolutely clapped. But you know what? Even if they've just got the standard gacha pool, I'm still missing a bunch of characters from the standard gacha pool, so you know what? I'll take it. I'll certainly take it. And yeah, it's just weird to me. Like, I personally, if I was making this event, I would have just let Tengen carry everything. And I would have just made like a nice, small event with some interesting characters, but you know what the main focus is. Well, they haven't. They've actually packed out this event with a lot of characters that I would say have been wanted for quite a while. And the Black Clover characters are included among that. Also, we've got some characters from Bleach. Now, you could make an argument for a relation to gods, because it's like Shinigami, death gods. There's something there. There's something there with the descent of the gods, because the Shinigami do come to the human realm. Specifically, the Vizards are Shinigami who have sort of been relegated to the human realm. So Shinji, sure, Shinji makes a lot of sense. I guess that makes sense. I didn't make any examples for Magna and Vanessa because I don't know what their relation is to the gods, if I'm honest. Is there even really much of like a gods thing in Black Clover? Am I remembering wrong? There's a lot of devils, I know that. Can't think of anything relating to the gods. Maybe I'm completely off there, but Shinji Hirako from Bleach, I think, is a highly desired character for a lot of Bleach fans. Very cool he's coming here. Unfortunate timing for me, I will not be able to summon on him, but you know what? Sprite looks awesome. Very happy with his inclusion. And alongside him, we do in fact get Hiyori, who, again, the sprite is very good. Her and Magna doing basically the exact same pose. Hold on, let me just... Yeah, let's go, squat gang. But I'm happy with their inclusion. The Vizards are very cool. I hope we get the rest of the Vizards at some point. And I do think it is quite nice that Bleach has a slightly fuller roster. I do question, where the fuck is Chad? Still no Chad. How, after all this time, do we still not have it? We got Vizards, we got Forbringers, we've got Arankar, we've got Quincy, we got everything, and we don't have Chad. Outrageous, but very happy with their inclusion nonetheless. And to finish this section off, we have some characters from World Trigger. We have Arashiyama. Hope I said that right. we have Jun and Mitsuru. And once again, the sprites look very good. World Trigger slowly starting to get some love. It had the crossover thing last year, getting some content here. We know there's some more content planned for the future because it is on the roadmap. Don't know what form that's going to come in. We're assuming a feature festival, but could be anything. And it's quite nice. Now, after what happened with Siren, where Siren was like basically a week long, 8 days, whatever, and it's like almost a full feature festival, the question does arise, are they going to do more feature festivals like that? Like, I know they probably didn't have much confidence in Siren, and that's why it's like a week long and it came alongside a bunch of other bullshit, but might they do that with other series? Like, a series they don't feel has the pull to bring in as many sales, and they're like, you know what, just put it just before a big event or just after a big event or in between two big events, and just have it not be too long, and maybe run it alongside some new game mode or whatever, and just there you go. Maybe that's something that might happen. I don't know if World Trigger would fall into that category because it is far more popular than Siren, but you know what I mean, like series that haven't got much love in the past. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. But very cool additions. Very cool additions. I did say in the past that I did think I would like to see Jun added, and well, there he is. So problem solved. I am starting to think that the next, like whenever we do get a World Trigger event, there's probably going to be a lot of like, there's going to be a V2 Yuma. There's going to be probably a V3 Osamu. And like, I feel like they're going to revisit some of the characters they've already done. Hyusei is probably going to be in there, though. That's going to be cool. But very nice. Very nice to see them added as well. And I assume Jun will be Gacha. So the Gacha's looking pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And that's basically this event. That's basically all we know so far. As for other stuff going on, I will mention briefly the new game mode, the Sparks of a Lost Civilization game mode. If you're waiting on a guide video of that from me, it's not coming because I can't do it. There are videos online of like Japanese players who are beating certain stages, getting SS rank. I am struggling. I am fighting for my life. I'm probably gonna have to watch some more of those, but I feel like I'm just missing a lot of key characters, so we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. I think the Taiwan server's just in the Naruto event right now. Probably going to just jump over to the Boruto event straight away after that. And then by that point, we're going to be into this event. And I don't know what I'm expecting to see in this next data download other than what's already been announced. Because we know that there is a new Sparks of a Lost Civilization season starting, and we've seen the emblem for it already. I showed it in a previous video, and the question comes to mind of, is there going to be a new character? I feel like it's not possible there could be another character so soon, because Poseidon's only been here for so long, and these stages take a lot of, you gotta think hard to beat some of these stages. So I don't know if they will, but at the same time, I feel like they should. I mean, my theory for how they should handle these events is each event should be reprinted like 3 times within the first year. So say, for example, you release one of each color. So Poseidon for blue, and then whoever for red, whoever for green, whoever for yellow. And then once you've done all 4, it'll loop back around to Poseidon again. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, then loop back around again. So over the course of a year, you will have printed each of the characters 3 times. And then you could do like a different counter unit each time. You could add in like, for example, in this case, Hyoga counters Poseidon. But having now read that part of the story, you could also put Libra Cloth Shiryu in there. You could put a new version of Athena in there. You could put Seiya Goldcloth, like a new version of him in there. Like maybe with the special, I don't know what it is, like baton thing that he got in that fight. Like, there's other stuff you can put there. That's all I'm saying. There's other stuff you could put there. You could even throw in like canon in there if you wanted to. Like there's other characters that can counter him. So I wonder if that might be something they do experiment with going forward, because some of these stages are very hard, and just releasing one new character that does something special that helps on that one particular stage, that could work. That could work. But we'll have to just wait and see on that. Data download is expected for Tuesday morning UK time, Japan, what time is it? Like midday Japan time, I guess. And we'll see. We'll see. I think full news should be coming out then as well, because I think the news is skipping a day, so I don't think there's any news Monday, but there will be news Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see, but until then, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.